everybody, June here from Fit by June. I have a video testimonial from my amazing client Sabrina, who has lost about 70 pounds this year working with me. So we're maybe a third of the way through her weight loss goals. So, which is awesome. And she sat down with me and answered some questions about what it was like heading through this with me by her side for the past 7 months. So I hope you'll watch, and if you know Sabrina, please cheer her on, and I will see you all soon. Bye! Okay, so I'm here with my awesome client Sabrina. How long have we been working intensely together?
8 months now? 9 months?
Right.
Yeah.
Like since last spring.
Yeah.
We're working out together intensely. So what brought that about? What happened?
So I had started kind of on my own, going through some things and trying to get into the weight loss thing. And I had done fairly well. And then I hit a plateau and struggled and gained like probably a little more than half of what I'd lost back. And I just knew that I couldn't do it on my own anymore. I couldn't make it work. I needed a plan. I needed to know how to do this correctly. And I told you this, and you kind of came up and said, well, I have a plan. You want to give it a shot? And I said, okay.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't turn it down at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we decided was that we were going to meet every week for maybe it was 3 months.
Yeah.
Every week for 3 months. And that it wasn't just going to be personal training.
Right.
It actually wasn't really any personal training.
No.
As far as your typical personal training goes.
Right.
Let's talk about what your workouts were like before 7 months ago.
So I was training intensely. That's kind of what, it was insane. I was doing 2 days. I was doing at least an hour a day, more than likely 2 hours a day, just crazy working out all the time.
And so with all that working out, what did you notice happening?
I was overcompensating.
How?
It was a lot of telling myself, you're doing 2 hours of work, you're working out like crazy, you can eat what you want, working out became my focus. That was it. As long as I was doing that, I felt like everything else would just fall into place.
Right.
It'd be fine, yeah.
Okay. So when we started working together, what happened? Those first couple months, what happened?
Those first couple months, we focused on food, which was difficult. It was a lot harder than I thought it would be. It was, when I started to look at what I was eating, I started to look at why I was eating and how I was eating, and it was really hard. It was a lot of realizing the difficulties that I was facing and that I was pushing aside with exercise and using food to heal and to comfort when everything else was not working out too well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did we do with your exercise?
So you made me first swear that we would only do 1 workout a day.
Yep.
Which
only
was
one workout a day. And
Right.
Sabrina is like a power horse. She is strong. She would come to my classes and work really hard.
Yeah.
But we had to actually back off exercise for a little bit.
We did. So it started 1 workout a day, and then it was we had to limit to an hour a day, and that was hard because it was all of a sudden I couldn't use it as an excuse, and I couldn't use it as a makeup.
Right.
You know, like my extra credit. Like, yeah, you can have that hamburger because it worked out. You know.
So the problem was that you were using exercise as a way to eat, overeat.
Absolutely.
You would, in your head, you'd say, well, I did, I ran for an hour on the treadmill, and then I did an hour strength training class, and so now I can, pretty much eat whatever I want.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it had gotten crazy. So.
Right. Okay. So for the first 4 months, we communicated a lot together. Like the first 3 or 4 months, there was a lot of communication.
Right.
Do you remember how much weight you lost in those 3 or 4 months?
I don't. It was a lot. I mean, for me, it was a lot, but it was steady, it was shocking for me. Like, I think I had lost more before on crazy fad diets and doing this and that, but to do it just by eating right and just by the little things without over-exercising, it seemed like a lot. It seemed like, wow, I couldn't do it. I think it was like 10 pounds a month or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was like a reasonable but like motivating amount. Right. It was, 10 pounds a month. That's awesome.
I'm not sure I believed in it till I saw it. I'm not sure I believed that I would lose steady, consistent weight.
And without over-exercising.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't really limit your food. Your calories weren't super low.
No.
They're pretty normal, and you were cooking for yourself. That was another thing that we incorporated.
Right.
Was more cooking and recipes and planning.
Right. And avoiding the pitfalls of the diet foods,
right.
of the fiber ones and all
right.
the things that were supposed to be healthy.
Right.
I didn't have to do.
Right. And another thing we did, things like sitting down at the table to eat, which was really important.
Yeah. I mean, especially living alone, I tend to, and I work from home too, so I'm here all the time. So, like, lunches would take 2 hours because I would eat at my desk and just nibble.
Graze.
Yeah. And I didn't realize how much I was eating till I took that into account, until I separated food from life and made food just a meal, and that was it. Yeah.
Good. So the first 4 months or so, you lost about, on average, about 10, give or take.
Yeah.
Right, and then I remember you hit a speed bump. You actually may have gained a little bit.
I did, yeah.
And so, right, so if you hadn't had constant communication with somebody, what do you think would have been the end result of that speed bump?
Well, I think I kind of showed it. You know, I mean, at first, I avoided you. I avoided the questions. I avoided the, what's really happening? And, like, you know, made excuses. Oh, it's fine, I'm fine, everything's good. And I think that's what I would have done. I would have kept doing that. I would have kept saying, oh, it's only 2 pounds, it's only this, you can make it back, you can do it, until I was back where I started. And the plus was you kept pushing, and you knew what was happening, I think, and just never let me
fall back.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think one of the problems when someone's going through a huge weight loss, I mean, this is a huge, like, it's not a straight line.
No.
Like, it's not just like 10 pounds, you're going to hit a sticky spot, and one of my jobs is to be there when that sticky spot happens and to know you or a client well enough so that then we can figure it out and keep going.
Right. That's
really one of the most important things. So what was the hardest thing that you've been through in the past seven months? Like the most uncomfortable thing. Like one of the things that we put together was like a list of things, like, you know, things that you wanted to accomplish sometime in your life. There's wall climbing and kayaking and bungee jumping and all of that stuff. And we actually sort of formulated and figured out when realistically you might actually be able to do those things. Right. Yoga classes. Yeah. That you actually enjoy. I
love them.
And you were putting them off.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because you didn't think that you would fit in or belong or that it wouldn't feel good, and now you kind of really like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So that was one thing. And painting classes that you tried.
I did.
Sort of went out and so it started doing things that maybe you were putting off, and now they're kind of like, you know, kayaking could happen in the spring.
Right.
So back to the question. What was the most uncomfortable or, you know...
I think there were a lot of uncomfortable points. You know, there still are. There's still things I'm just not facing. But a lot of things were, I think the first thing was that I had to face taking care of me. And I'm the person that's always taking care of other people and putting myself second.
Right. Family.
Yeah.
Huge commitments. Even though you are like single, you still have a really big family commitment.
Yeah. So that's difficult. You know, there were physical things, like when I had a hip injury and that was hard, and it was hard.
That is interesting, right? Your hip injury, because why was that so interesting? That was a good learning point for you.
It was. It was a tough point, because even though we had refocused on food and I had come to realize that exercise was not the key, when I couldn't exercise at all, I couldn't even walk like a quarter mile, I panicked. I'm like, I can't do anything.
This is end game.
Yeah, this is it.
Right.
There's no way. And I sat down with you, and you made this food plan, and it worked, and I was shocked.
And you lost lots of weight, even though you were injured.
Just fixing food, just focusing on food,
without being crazy or like really restrictive. We just figured out food, and then everything was fine.
I know. I think I stayed within like 1,700-1,800 calories, which is a lot of food.
Yeah,
and I did well.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Very good. So tell me about your goals going forward in the next 6 months. How are you picturing the next 6 months going?
So in the next 6 months, I plan on keeping the food going. I wanna focus more on food. I'd like to learn more about local foods and stuff, and that's gonna be a goal of mine, is trying to keep things local and natural. And then the yoga is a big thing, and I really would like to get into kayaking, which is, like you said, I have a lot of goals that I have put off, saying you'll do this when, you'll do it if
you get down to whatever amount you want to be. Right.
And that's it. And not even that, like you said, painting, I've always said, well, when you get this fixed, then you can focus on that.
Right.
And that's the other thing. And I'm writing again, so I hope to
that's right.
get that going. Well, it's going, but I hope to get it finished, and that's the goal for the next year, is to finish that book.
So as I look forward to 2014, I'm looking for more clients just like you, who have an overwhelming amount of weight to lose and don't really know how to get started. So what would you say to them? What would you say to people who might be watching this and maybe like either they've done something similar before, or they've done Weight Watchers, or they've done whatever before, and they're skeptical, or they're just about maybe not quite ready, but they want to hear from someone who's sort of been doing it with me why they should do it?
It's different. It's natural. It's difficult, but it's the best way to go. I think that it changes you, not only your body, but your spirit, and the way that you look at things. And I think that you've taught me to teach myself, and that's the plus.
I can give you pieces and tools, and then you can look at them and decide if you want to use them, if they work for you, and then if not, then we'll figure out something else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that is the plus, and I think that it would help me, because that's the next step, is that I have other people in my situation to talk to. Yeah. Right. So do it for me.
Do it for Sabrina. Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me, and I'm so proud of you. You're such an awesome client. I'm lucky that you let yourself be my guinea pig for the past 7 months, and that you've made such awesome progress. And on to 2014, this time next year.
Yay!
Flying higher.
Thank you.
You're doing really great.
I'd be a different person today.
Oh.
So.
Yay!
Yay!
Great. Thanks for watching. More info will be posted below this video if you want more information on this amazing program, which will begin January 2014. Bye!